Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and I'm very happy, proud and excited to present my first impulse response pack, which is a game changer, at least to me. Let's listen to a song first I wrote specifically for this video, where I used my real amps out from Fried power station, so they go to the Fried power station, then line out from the power station, and I'm using an impulse response loader and the IRs that comes with my pack, some of them. Then let's go through the mix. I'll show you, I'll compare them to my real cabs, and I'll explain you why this is a game changer, in my opinion. Sounded pretty heavy, right? Okay, first let's go through the game changer thing. There's many good IRs. I've used many good IRs by many well-known producers, guitar players and developers, but they've lacked one thing which is really important to me: the woof. And the fact that they don't sound like my cabinets, my mic cabinets, which is no CYHRA luck, because my cabinets are there and nobody has made IRs of them except me. So I spent weeks trying to get an IR and IRs that sounds like my real cabs with the woof. Because basically all IRs I tried, like even really great ones, I feel like I'm just listening the speaker. I'm not hearing the woof of the cabinet. And this was like, it took me a long time to figure out how to capture the woof, that when I'm sitting here, my cabinets are in another room. When I'm listening, my real mic cabs, when I'm playing with them, I feel the woof coming there, the air moving. And, you know, I wasn't gonna give up. I almost gave up, because the IR sounds great, it sounds like my speakers, not like my cabinets. I'm missing the woof until I found a way. It's pretty, I'm not gonna tell you what it is, maybe at some point, but it doesn't include any sine wave sweeps or whatever. I'm gonna relieve this much, that It's one sample length of white noise, but that's just the beginning. So it took me like approximately an hour to create each IR, sometimes even more, because I was constantly comparing, you know, with my amp to my real cabinet to the IR, and eventually I nailed it. The WOOF. And that it's not boxy, that I hear not just the speaker but the cabinet. And it was really important to me because I made these mostly for myself, that I can use these in quad cortex or in a recording situation where I can't crank my cabinets, late hours, whatever. And I just wanted to have an IR that are exactly like my mic cabinets, because those cabinets, those speakers, the way I mic them, the way I treat them with the SSL channel strips, it's a big part of my sound. Many people have said that, you know, I've got a lot of compliments of my guitar sounds, no matter what gear I use, and thank you for that. But yes, it's hands, everything, but the way I mic the speakers and the cabinets and, you know, drive them through preamps and EQ certain stuff out on my productions, that is, and I finally nailed it, and now they are available to you. I'm really excited. I've sent these to some of my colleagues, producer, guitar players. Everybody's been like, dude, the first IRs that really capture the woof. It's 3D, like speaker. I was like, yes, that was my goal. All right, enough yapping. Let's go to Pro Tools, to the session of the song, and I'll show you and I compare, you know, the differences. Well, there's not really difference between my real mic cabs and the IRs. All right, so this is the song. So there's the real cabinet, which is now muted, and then the IRs. And here's the amps I used. It's Boss SD1, JCM800BB, Bad Boy, DV77 speaker. This is SLO and Maxon Audio 808 in front. Carnivore speaker. This is CYHRA 5152 with V30 speaker in the Mesa Boogie cabinet, and same on the right side. So four rhythm guitars. These third and fourth are panned like 81 and minus 5.2, and these first and second are, you know, full volume left and right 100%. Same with the IR. And with the IRs, like I said, I used the direct out from the Friet power station, and I recorded the direct amp and the amp with the full rig at the same time. And then I have here Pulse, and here is the DV77 speaker. On this one it's the Carnivore speaker. On this one it's the Mesa V30, and same here. So let's listen first with the IRs, then I'll switch to the real cabinet. So the amps are the same, the performances were the same. I filmed myself when I recorded this guitar and this at the same time, and then the solo, and then I just did another rhythm guitar afterwards, you know, there. All right, here we go. I mean, if and maybe when there's a slight difference, but the difference is definitely not worse. I mean, if I'm completely honest, on this mix, the IR version, the IR bus, it actually sounds a little bit better. It's like more refined in a way. Let's listen to the main riff once more. So first the IRs, then I'll switch to the real cabinets. I mean, they definitely don't sound worse. Oh man, like, how great is this? Hopefully you will be as excited as I am. Now I can record my amps, don't have to worry if the cabinet is too loud or too loud. I can record any hours silently using these IR and get the same, probably, to be honest, even a little bit better sound. How cool is that? So yeah, that's like amazing. The processing is exactly the same on both. So you know what I usually do. There's the soothe, reducing some more upper mids. There's multiband compression, taming down lower mids. And then what I always do. These I take 3 and 6K out, like 6 dB. I hate those frequencies, and there's a little bit, you know, 150 hertz tame. And for this mix, because there's so much guitars and so much stuff, I added just a tiny bit of mix. It's the same on the real guitars. And then a post EQ. You know, because there's 4 guitars, so it started to be a little bloated. So I took out some lower mids and some upper mids and added more low and high cut. The low and high cut are baked in on those IRs, like how I record with real cabinets through these SSLs. I'm gonna go through them and play a little bit and explain in more detail. Yeah, I mean, how cool is this? I did it. Okay. Let's close this and let's open a few plugins and the Pulse. Where I'm gonna show these with my real amps and with a few of my favorite plugins. How these IR sound and how they compare to some of the stuff I have previously used. Before we continue, I want to show you what you will get. So you will get a folder with 44.1 kilohertz, 48 and 96. And I believe in quality instead of quantity, and like I mentioned, each IR took a long time for me to make, because I wanted them to be like my real cabs, and if possible, even better, and I succeeded. So there is 57 folder, which just a 57, and here's the description. It's a Mesa Boogie cabinet V3057 SSL 9K channel strip with the EQ. So I was using the plug knob EQ, dialing just a little bit lower mids and upper mids out, adding some nice airy top, and then I used the filters to tame down the deepest lows and a little bit the highest highs. And then there's a raw version, which is the EQ is bypassed. I'm just bypassing the EQ, but it's obviously the preamp, and I use the super analog preamp. I really like that on guitars. There is the VHD option, but I don't really like that with guitars because they are already distorted. With vocals, I have used the VH variable harmonic drive preamp, but this is super analog preamp. Then there's Marshall cabinet, Carnivore speaker, 57 SSL, and it's the 4K. It's the Revival 4000 channel. Again, the black knob EQ, because you can switch the EQ. The 9000 has pink and black, the 4000 has brown and black. So black EQ, again, taking out a little bit and and adding nice airy top and taming down the deepest lows and some of the highest highs a little bit. And the raw is without the EQ. And this is the Jensen 4000 preamp with these. And DV77, same thing, same Marshall cabinet, upper row with EQ raw. Then there's blends, my favorite blends, what I have used on many productions, what I usually use. So there's V30 with 57 and Carnivore with 57 with the EQ, without the EQ. V30, DV77 with and without the EQ, and Carnivore 57, DV57 with and without the EQ. And then there's 57 and Royer 121 blends. These are my favorite blends, what I usually use. I don't use the Royer that much with the Carnivore and DV77s because those speakers have quite a lot of bottom, and the Marshall cabinet in general, it has more bottom than the Mesa Boogie cabinet. But I just put them in there, you know, if you want to have even more woof, you can use this. And sometimes I have used this. Let's say the amp is thin sounding or I'm using a single coil strat. I want to maybe add some fullness with the Royer 121. And then there's just the Royer 121. Same three speakers with and without the EQ. There's no other options. There's just the best option. Because I don't see any point to put like 10 different versions of Mesa V30, Royer 121, let's say. And because one of them is going to be the best one. So I've had those mics in those same positions. Like I found it the sweet spot. That's where it is. I'm not interested in getting any worse or whatever sounds. I just want the best sound. This is what you get. The best sound, the best sweet spot of that particular speaker. If you find it too bright, too dark, you have an amplifier with tone controls you can tweak, or you have maybe an EQ, you can tweak it. But to me, that's the perfect spot. I don't need anything else. I'm not interested in multiple mediocre options. I just want one good, one good sound. Cool. So that's where it is. And then there's 48 kilohertz and 96, the same thing. And also comes with this info package. This might change because while I'm filming this, the pack isn't being released. So I'm working on this at the moment. But there's basically a little bit more info. Why and how and about the gear and the processing, and then there's also pictures of the cabinets and the speakers inside. So you will get this PDF, or there's gonna be probably even a little bit more information when I finish this. When you buy this pack, you will get this, and I also always like to know, like, okay, what was used and why, and what was the thing, and what's the processing and everything. So the info is there. Okay, now let me grab my guitar and let me show you the IRs with a couple of real amps and a couple of plugins of those same amps. So we're gonna use SLO 100 and the Bad Boy, and the plugins are going to be Neural DSP's SLO and Bogren's Bad Boy. Alright, so I have Lancaster Audio's Pulse open. This is a free IR loader plugin. And here I have a Mesa V30 into SSL 9K raw, so no EQ. And here is a pretty well known, I guess, producer's IR, which I like. I like it a lot. I have used it a lot previously before I create my own. So listen, this is what I was talking about. Like I want to capture the woof and the sound of the speaker, not the cabinet and the speaker, not just the speaker. Quite a big difference. The other one has a lot of mids, so when I was using this IR, I heavily EQ'd it, and this is not EQ'd. This is just how my personal Mesa Boogie from '94 and how those speakers sound. They are not like your everyday V30s. They are deep and full, and I wanted to capture it. And the woof, the boom, that, because with any other IR I've tried, I feel like I'm only hearing the speaker, not the cabinet. Like, there's no woof. Even though it looks like there's tons of bottom, but there's no woof. It looks like there's more bottom than mine, but there's the woof. Okay, then let's change into another one of my favorites, and let's pick my Carnivore raw, not EQ'd. I mean, the difference when you check out, this is not raw, this is EQ'd. So I'm just adding a nice airy top with the EQ and taking some muddy low mid out, and that's the only EQ I do. It's just very subtle. But anyway, okay. Now my Carnivore in the Marshall cab. Yeah, the amp is SLO now. I hear the speaker, I don't hear the cabinet. And I spent weeks to figure out the method to capture the woof of the speaker. This feels 2D. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, I've used these IRs, but I've heavily EQ'd it. It just feels like my ear is, like, it's just a speaker, not cabinet. And some may think that this is better, that mine are too scooped. I know, personal preferences, I like big woofy guitar sounds. But I can feel a woof. With this one, it sounds good. There's no woof. Woof, woof. Okay, well, you know. So let me load something else here. Let's load the blend package. So there's the one thing with the pulse. If you have these on, the down roll, the EQs, the IRs change. So it's a, you know, not very good thing. So whenever I'm using this, between these two, there's no difference, upper row or, you know, this bottom row. Just keep in mind, if you have all of these open, you see, the IR will sound different even though it should be 100% here. Good thing to keep in mind if you use this pulse. Great, otherwise you just need to remember that. So this is the V30 with the EQ. And then I switch to the raw without. Here there's the whoa, 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 a little bit scratchy upper mids. It's more refined. And let's go through this all. So this is Carnivore 57. Raw, again a little bloated, so no EQ. DV77. DV77 is fairly dark speaker, so I have the microphone closer to center than with the others. Okay, let's go through the same. Let me switch amp to the Bad Boy. As you hear, the Mesa Boogie cab, even though it's a lot tighter, and the V30 doesn't have as much bottom as the Carnivore and DV77. but this is the IR or speaker cabinet I used a lot on leads. And then I actually used this blend. This is a, these are the blends. Now let's actually take the 51 and Royer 121. So this is the Royer in. So on my videos many times, when you probably noticed that I have the Royer with the V30 because it gives it a little bit fuller sound compared to just 57. So that's why I have the 57 and the Royer with the Royer X mount. It's like it's in front of the Boogie cabinet, because the Carnivore, the Marshall cabinet with Carnivore and DV doesn't really need the Royer. But this one, it adds a little bit more woof and weight to the sound. Cool. And then let's actually open the blend folder. So I did a few blends here. So this first one is a 57 and Carnivore. No, V30 and Carnivore. These are all with 57. Let's switch amp back to SLO. And then there's 57 and I think this is DV77. Let me cheat a little bit here outside of the screen so I don't need to all the time go through. Yes, so this is what we are using now. What I'm using is Mesa V30 and Marshall cabinet DV77. And this one is a Carnivore and DV77 in the Marshall cab. This has huge bottom. There's the woof. Cool. And then let's close these and turn on the bottom row, like I said. So here, this folder is 57 and 121 blends that I've done. So here is actually what we just listened, the V30 blend. And then there is the third one is Carnivore with 57 and Royer blended in. Woof. Let's switch back to the 800, where the low end is a little bit more tighter. It's not actually. And then there is a DV77 and a, let me cheat again, what is this blend? Because it's kind of short, the screen here. Yeah, the DV77 and 57 and Royer 121. And then I have the real woof. Because on many plugins, IRs, you know, there's like Royer 121. And I always like, that's not how Royer sounds in front of the cabinet. It's like, sometimes I feel like they haven't even used a Royer. It just looks like a Royer. Because Royer 121, when you put it straight in front of the speaker, the sound you hear is very similar than how it sounds and feels when you're actually standing in front of the cabinet. Listen what I mean. So this is the Royer straight in front of the V30. This is 121. Like I'm always like, I guess I said it, but this has bummed me. a lot like people, if you haven't used the real Royal 121 with the real cabinet, you don't know how it sounds. And I think most people think that Royal 121 sounds, it's not how it sounds. People just think because some plugin used it and it sounds like wimpy and weak, and this is 121. It feels like you're standing in front of the cabinet. There's a lot of woof. Let me show you in front of the Carnivore. I don't know how this translates, but the room is rumbling. It's almost like the cabinet is here, even though it's in another room. You see, I'm excited. Goosebumps. Oh. So this is Royal 121. When you put it straight in front, you get the full woof of the cabinet. I mean, the cabinet needs to be, when you do these IRs and when you mic the cabinet, it needs to move air. It needs to be loud. Like, not like insanely loud, but loud enough that the air move, and then you get this. I probably need to record this with the camera mic. Listen. The room is shaking. Okay, then with the DV. Even more. And you may say, well, that's too much in the context of a mix. No, it isn't. You know, Royal 121 is, I've never used it alone. I've only used it when I feel like it needs a little bit more woof. Then I blend that in. Then when you're mixing, you can add high pass filters, low pass filters, EQ it and whatever. But I like to get the woof. Usually when I EQ, if you check the mix, I wasn't really adding anything. I was just checking out some stuff. Because that way I feel the sound is more like original. If you end up boosting a lot of stuff, to me, everything starts to sound weird. So I like to record like a whoosh, big sound and then mangle it according to the mix. Like if someone say that's too much for the mix, you can just say like, yeah, huppa. You can always take it out. But because big part of the guitar recording and the way you play, the way I play, is I need to feel it. Like I need to feel it, even though the cabs are in another room, but I need to feel it in the monitors. I play better when I get goosebumps and I feel it. I feel the whoosh. And then I can, in the mix, I can make it like, okay, well, maybe there's too much low end, and then I just, add some low cut and high cut filters and more multiband compressor, and then there you go. There's no such thing as too much low end when you record. Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get the point. Okay, so yeah, with real amps. Hell yeah, sounds great. Then let me switch a few cables. I need to connect the cable to my audio interface. I'll show these IRs with the Bogren Bad Boy and Neural DSP Soldano plugin. Alright, the Bad Boy. So this is now the cabinet one that comes with the plugin. So this comes with 3 cabs, which I like them all. But since there's not many controls, you can control the amount of gain and the effects and the SD1 on and off. Good way to change your tone and sound is by using different cabinets. This vintage cab, or then you can choose one of we have a Carnivore there with the 57 and Royal 121, so let's check out that. Kind of deeper, less mid quark. choose a DV77 with 57 Royer. Nice top kind of mix ready. Or then we can choose the V30. Was great, as does the stock cabs in my opinion. This vintage cab makes the Bad Boy almost sound towards plexi, and then we have the lead cab. But these all sound great. They have just kind of more mids than my IRs. It's kind of a little bit more deeper, and there's the kind of I hear the cabinet. There we go. Let's check out the Soldano next. Alright, another guitar SLO plugin. Let's try it first with the 57 it comes with. I believe this is a V30 cabinet, because those are the cabinets that Soldano does nowadays. I mean, not bad, but let's take my V30. Much more present, much more clearer, in my opinion. And this is a Carnivore now. Again, let's compare it to what this comes with. Again, I feel like I'm hearing just the speaker with quite a honky sound, not the cabinet. But now I'm hearing the cabinet. And if we want more woof, we can blend in the Royer 121. just your woof. Okay, and then cleans. I don't separate IRs or cabinets or speakers for clean or lead or rhythm. Good sound is a good sound. And so this is the Carnivore and Soldano clean. There you go. Sounds pretty damn good, huh? So, hey, there we go. Game-changing IRs, in my opinion, and you heard them. They sound quite a bit different than what's out there. To me, there's the sound of the cabinet, the woof, and because of that woof, that depth, you don't get the hunky, just like how just the speaker sounds in a non-cabinet environment, in my opinion. So these are out today via Strange Angles, link in the description below. And when you use my code, it's down there. When I'm filming this, I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be probably Euge something. You will get a $10 discount. So I believe this will be $39.99, the price of this pack. And with my code, 1 week from this is Friday, whatever the day is. It's not Friday now when I film this, but when this comes out, it's Friday. Let's actually see the date. So it's Friday 30th, 30. To the next Friday, you will get a $10 euro, whatever is your currency, discount. So it will be $29.99. And there's also my capture packs, like full rig captures for Quad Cortex, for NAM, for Fractal, XFX, for Kemper, for Tonex, you name it. They are there, and those packs, they have the full captures. It's just with the Mesa Boogie cabinet, but I also capture the direct amps. So with this IR pack and with those capture packs, which there's the direct sound from the amps, so you can check out how my Soldano sounds with my Marshall cabinet, with DV77 or with Carnivore, and not just with the V30, Mesa V30 cab that it comes with. So, you know, this is I'm myself really excited because now I can have my amps, my cabinets with me, no matter where I go. I don't need to be anymore here to record my favorite amps and cabinets and sounds. I can do it anywhere with a laptop. Now you have a chance too. And if and hopefully when you will purchase this pack, I'm really interested to hear how you feel and what do you think about this. So please put comments, whether positive or negative, hopefully positive, in the description below. And I'll probably do maybe a reaction video where I go through those comments, positive, and if there's negative, those two, because you know, you can't please them all. You can only please yourself, and just hope that as many people as possible likes your stuff too. Anyway, enough yapping. This was a quite long video. I am really excited because finally I have impulses with WOOF, and not just any impulses, my personal cabinets and speakers, mic'd and processed the way I like to process guitar sounds. Thanks for watching. Check out Strange Angle's website. All the best. See you on the next one. Hey, happy playing, great playing. You know, do some music. Take care. Bye.